Uh, this is the first education policy of the 21st century. This is how I'm going to start. So all these days we had this national policy on education, national education policy, and they were something different. They didn't have an Indian touch. That's how I would call it as. So this education policy NEP 2020 has certainly made some Indian touch in it. So as the slides move on, we will be discussing it. So I'll be just sharing how this national education policy or the education policies across different time period got evolved in India. This is the first slide. Uh, this is the evolution of Indian education policy. It started from 1948-49 with the University Education Commission, and we are all aware of it. I'm not going to touch any of those topics. I'm just giving the evolution, how it came through till today. The next came the Secondary Education Commission. It is popularly called as Mudaliar Commission, 52-53, followed by Kothari Commission, 64-66, which is very much popular. Then came the National Policy in Education, 1968. Then there was an important decision taken that education should be in the concurrent list in the 42nd Constitutional Amendment in 1976. That's how it works even today. Education is in concurrent list. National policy in education in 1986. Then there was a program of action which got modified in 1992. Then we got Subramaniam Committee report 2016. Then came this 2019 draft national education policy, which was put forth by Dr. K. Kasturirangan Committee. Now, he has put forth, then it doesn't happen in a single day. There were many deliberations, there are many consultations to implement this NEP 2020. So it started with this online discussion, mygov.in. You'd be aware of it. Then it was draft NEP, which was released in 2019. So the term itself was as draft NEP. It was put in public domain for suggestions, and an opening 2.5 lakh suggestions from across India was obtained. And based on those suggestions, a special meeting of CAB, Central Advisory Board of Education, which is the oldest body in India regarding education, was held, and the Parliament Standing Committee then therefore approved this draft into National Education Policy in 2020. So you must be aware that Karnataka is the first state to implement NEP, and followed by Madhya Pradesh, and I think Uttar Pradesh is also in line in implementing this NEP 2020. So this is the outlay of what had happened right from the independence regarding the evolution of our education system. So where do we stand now? It is, we have started implementing, and there are a number of stages in it. It's not that it can be implemented in a single day or a single year or 2 years. It goes on. Now the exact platform to be implemented goes till 2040. So till 2040, there are a number of stages where this NEP could be implemented. Start with the vision of NEP 2020. I'm just reading out what actually NEP visions. An education system that contributes to an equitable and vibrant knowledge society by providing high quality education to all. That was the foremost vision of NEP. It states that equitable access to the highest quality of education for all learners, irrespective of their caste, creed, or socio-economic status. Highest equitable quality education is the main vision of NEP 2020. Develops a deep sense of respect towards the fundamental rights, duties, and constitutional values, bonding with one's country, and a conscious awareness of one's role and responsibilities. And the third important point is to impart skills and values, even dispositions towards sustainable development goals, because everywhere we talk about this SDG, sustainable development goal, where the fourth SDG talks about equitable quality education to all. That's where we are targeting the NEP as well. Okay. Uh, I'm not going to explain these things, but the highlighted words tells everything about the NEP. Key principles of NEP: respect for diversity and local context. So this is what I mentioned in the earlier slides. There was not an Indian touch in the NEP. I mean earlier policies, all those things. But this NEP has certainly an Indian touch where local context is coming into effect. Local things are brought into the curriculum or the conceptual understanding, learning, everything has been brought with the local context in mind, whereas earlier there was no local context. We were following certain stereotypic method of curriculum, all those things. So this time there is a change in the curriculum, pedagogy, and policy. And the next is equity and inclusion. This was already I have mentioned. The key principle is to give equity and inclusion among all learners. Community participation. This is again an important factor. We will be discussing it each one later. Community participation in the sense earlier no private or public partnership was there in the education sector, and the outreach activities was not commendable based on the previous policies. But this time, this NEP has envisaged that community outreach activities should be given significant importance in the curriculum, pedagogy, all those things. Then, use of technology. This is a broad area. NEP emphasizes the use of technology in all forms of, all levels of implementation, either in school level or in higher education level. This time what I'll do is I'll just share few things about this technology. I'm giving significant importance to this because now as teachers we should be using this technology for the betterment of our students. I'll be discussing it later. Then emphasize conceptual understanding where rote learning had more significance. Now slowly the rote learning methods have been coming down. Learning for exams are being getting vanished. So the conceptual understanding is gaining importance. Unique capabilities, recognizing, identifying them in each student. There are a number of assessment strategies which are being implemented through NEP, where each student's capabilities can be identified and assessed properly. That is, transparent assessment is possible. Critical thinking and creativity for logical decision making and innovation. Continuous review. This is where this NEP stands apart from other things, where something like an ERP, where you have a continuous assessment of the student by a system. That is how the NEP works, based on sustained research and regular assessment by educational experts. These are few key principles of NEP. Okay, now I'm coming to the main thing. What reforms can we expect, or what reforms are being implemented? Because in this presentation, few things have already been implemented. Few are in the different stages of implementation. First thing is 50% gross enrollment ratio by 2035. So I'm making it clear again. I'm concentrating on higher education only. School education I'm not touching upon. This is the NEP for higher education. So gross enrollment ratio for higher education should be, it should be targeted to 50% by 2035. Now the national GER ratio is around 27%, and Tamil Nadu is the only state which has more than 50% of gross enrollment ratio. That too, last year it got reduced to 49 something because of this corona, all those things. But Tamil Nadu is in a much better state than other states in India. That is, it has more than 50% of gross enrollment ratio, where students who complete their school education, the percentage of enrollment of children in higher education is above 50%. So major reforms targeting NEP is 50% of gross enrollment ratio from 27%. That is entire India. Then holistic and multidisciplinary education. This is again an interesting fact, where multiple entry and exit uh, things can happen through NEP. For example, if I want to do a certificate course, I can join in a college or institution. I can complete my 1 year of study and I can get a certificate. That is a certificate program. If I wish to continue that 1 year to second year, I can complete 2 years of my program study. Then I can get a diploma certificate. Again, if the student wishes, I can continue even further. For 3 years, he can get a bachelor's degree. And there are options where a student who continues for the fourth year, he can get a bachelor's degree with specialization of particular subject. So this is how the things work in NEP. A student, if he is not willing to continue, he can come out in the first year itself, obtaining a degree, a certificate. Second year, a diploma certificate. Third year, a degree. Fourth year, a degree with a specialized subject. So this is flexible for students. This is possible through NEP. The MPhil will be discontinued. It's already been discontinued. The next is credit transfer and academic bank of credits. These are all few reforms through NEP where few have already been implemented. The next is credit transfer and academic bank of credits. So as we have a savings bank account, similarly, there is a proportion that you can save your credits earned in a digital place called academic bank of credits. Your credits, when you complete a program, the credits earned will be saved here. You can either transfer it to other institution. When you go for another institution, you can make use of that credits and you can complete the program, or you can transfer the credits to get to complete your degree or whatever program you undergo. You can easily transfer the credit. It's not mandatory to study the same institution for all the years. You can either transfer your credit, you can go for a different program, you can transfer the credits and you can complete the program. So this is possible through credit transfer and academic bank of credit. Something like you must have already heard it, where you keep your license, all those things, you keep it in a digital copy. Similarly, there is an academic bank of credits where you store your credits digitally. Then higher education institutions where now we call it as university affiliated colleges, autonomous colleges. Now the thing will happen is there will be segregation of institutions where research intensive universities will be set up, where they concentrate only on research. Teaching intensive universities, teaching will be more prioritized, and autonomous degree granting colleges, the colleges which can grant degrees. This is slowly happening. So their aim is in 2030, around 2030, there will be no affiliated colleges. All institutions will go for autonomy. This is how it works. So this is the plan. So many institutions are towards autonomy so that they can go with their own curriculum, methods of teaching, they can do it. So this is how it works. So research intensive and teaching intensive universities and autonomous degree granting colleges, and there will be a model multidisciplinary educational research university similar to or on par with IIT, IIMs. There will be model multidisciplinary education and research university. The term multidisciplinary is not new to us, but here what they say is there will be no, for example, in teacher education institutions, according to NEP, there will be no standalone teacher education institutions in the forthcoming years, which means that, for example, Ramakrishna Mission Vidyalaya College of Education is a standalone institution. That is, we offer only B.ED, M.Ed, MPhil and PhD. Or Kadir College of Education offers B.ED, M.Ed programs. So the progressive NEP, what it says is, these standalone institutions will get joined with the multidisciplinary research institute, where the College of Education might go to a fact that it becomes a department of education. So there they offer not only for education, it spreads out. That is, for all departments, we go for teaching psychology or methods of teaching. All these things is going to happen. So that's where this multidisciplinary education research university will come in. So all our institutions will become multidisciplinary institutions based on the strength. The universities and colleges will differ based on the strength, and slowly greater autonomy will be there. That's what I said. Autonomy towards autonomy. Many institutions will move towards autonomy, phasing out affiliation system in 15 years. So 2040, there will be no affiliating institute. We were affiliated to Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University. One college is affiliated to Bharat University. So in 15 years time, there will be no affiliating institute. All institute will be autonomous, and they would have their own method of curriculum. They have the autonomy to revise the curriculum. All those autonomy functions will come into effect. Then there is a thing called National Mission on Mentoring. For example, there are two schemes. One is Paramarsh, which is already uh, over. The other one is Margadarshan, where these two schemes are specially for mentoring higher education institutions. What Paramarsh does is, an institution which is selected under Paramarsh is called a mentor institution, which can guide the other mentee institutions in terms of NAC. For example, Paramarsh is especially for NAC, where mentor institution can guide the other mentee institutions who wishes to join them. For example, a mentee institution is an institution which is going first time for NAC accreditation. So in the under Paramar scheme, a mentor institution can guide and tell how to go for NAC, what are the things to be done for assessment, accreditation, all those things can be done. So mentoring will be done on a large scale basis. It is a national mission. It can be done for a large scale. Entire India in this scheme is implemented. Paramash was implemented. Now the Margadarshan scheme is also implemented, similar to Paramash. Paramash was it was around during the pandemic time it was implemented. Margadarshan is still open. It can be used for mentoring other institutes. Single regulator for higher education, excluding legal and medical. This I'll be talking it later. That is the Higher Education Council of India. This will come into effect. Online self-disclosure based transparent system for approvals in place of inspection. This is one more important thing. Uh, for example, once a college goes for affiliation, there will be a physical verification for the affiliation, continuous affiliation, all those things. But what NEP is suggesting is there will be a meta accreditation sort of thing. That is, without going for a physical verification, only based on the mandated disclosure or self-disclosure which an institution has, approvals can be given even though there is no physical inspections for a certain period of time. It's not permanent. Then after the meta accreditation, the institution can go for the real accreditation processes. So common norms for public and private higher education institutions. Public investment in education sector to reach 6% of GDP at the earliest. So these are all reforms which are proposed. And one exclusive foundation for research is being planned, National Research Foundation, which exclusively funds and looks after the research activities across India. Internationalization of education. Recently, we had news that foreign institutions are opening branches in India. So this is how it works. Indian institutions are opening branches across other countries. Integration of vocational teacher and professional education. This again, I will come back when we go for teacher education. Standalone higher education institutions and professional education institutions will evolve into multidisciplinary institutions. This is what I said. There will be no standalone higher education institutions. Hereafter, it will be called as multidisciplinary institutions.
हाँ आगे आगे बंद हो गया बस ये बस ये तो
Special
लगा के
education.
कल फोटो लगा रखा था अनूप का मोबाइल उठा लेगी पुलिस वाले
Special education zone for disadvantaged regions. This is also in proposal. National Institute for Pali, Persian, and Prakrit. These things are where most of these years art and culture were not considered properly. So this NEP gives significance to art and culture education as well. So there are a number of initiatives for language development, institutes for language development, research for language. All those things are being taken into consideration. National Educational Technology Forum is also in line with NEP, and MHRD to be renamed as Ministry of Education, which has already been done. So now we don't have MHRD, it is Ministry of Education. So these are some of the major reforms. We have one more slide. Okay, focus on literature and scientific vocabulary of Indian languages. This is what I said. More significance is being given on languages now. Language faculty and research on languages is also being initiated. Strengthening national institutes for promotion of classical languages and literature. Indian Institute of Translation and Interpretation. Cultural awareness of our Indian knowledge systems. This is where this Indian touch comes in. So there are a number of activities here going on now. Indian knowledge systems, promoting traditional arts and Lok Vidya, higher education institutions, school or school complex to have artists in residence. This is a new scheme where, for example, an art teacher or a music teacher will be there inside the campus to promote his or her own subject. So these things are coming into effect through NEP. So these are few reforms which are being undertaken through NEP. I didn't explain much, but these things are self-explanatory. Few things which were not explanatory, I just gave some explanation. The next important thing is use of technology. Technology for teaching, learning, and evaluation. Now I'm concentrating higher education. I just I'm just skipping this page. I'd like to share one page where many would have not heard this. There is a separate portal for Department of Higher Education, technology enabled learning. I hope this screen is visible. Can someone say
It's
is it?
visible, sir. It's
Yes.
visible.
Okay, I'm just coming out of the presentation. That's what I said. I will not be in a conventional way to present the things. I'm just linking everything to teacher education, where these are some of the ICT initiatives of Ministry of Education, which comes in line with NEP, right? So many things we might have heard regarding the Swayam. Swayam, most of us would have heard, right? This is an initiative of Ministry of Education. I'm just skipping Swayam, most of us would be knowing, massive open online courses. Then comes the Swayam Prabha. This is one thing where all the digital courses are available on our TV. There are 24/7 high quality educational programs on TV, which we call it as Swayam Prabha. I'll just click it. If we are using our DTH, there are channels which we might have not seen, but there are channels inside our DTH. If time permits, you just go to home today and explore the channels. You can see the number of channels regarding each subject. Right? These are all free and you can use it anytime. Even through internet, you can see all these contents. I just click higher education. Again, in higher education, we have a number of topics. These are pre-recorded videos. You can just make use of it. On high quality videos, everything will be reviewed before publishing. You can just see those things. This is one initiative which is called as Swayam Prabha. The next is National Digital Library. If you want, I will share this page alone later because there are a number of access points here. There is National Digital Library where you can access the e-content of multiple aspects. Next is e-PG Pathashala, that is books, free e-books regarding your own subjects, that is in higher education. E-Pathashala is for school education. E-PG Pathashala is for higher education. Just have that difference in mind. You will have all the access to free e-books across the curriculum. Whatever curriculum you want, you can just choose it. Again, there will be a possibility for choosing. It's not opening. Okay. Next is Shodh Ganga. This again, many would have been familiar with. Shodh Ganga is a repository of thesis and abstracts for the entire India. Every university who is associated with UGC will have their own thesis in the soft copy. So whoever does MPhil or PhD across India should, through a university, should submit a soft copy of their work to Shodh Ganga. Right? If I want to see my thesis, I can go to my, for example, I done in Madras University. I can go to Madras University. I can go to this Shodh Ganga. I can just type my thesis name. I can find out my thesis, which is freely available. You can download it, and you can use it ethically. That's the point where ethical usage is important here, because there is no restrictions here. You can use it, and you can see how many theses have been added. 4,53,463 theses, synopsis, research projects, fellowship reports, everything are there. You can just explore all these things. I'm just giving the links where to go. You can explore it. Shodh Ganga is one of the major initiative of Ministry of Education. Next is E-Shodh Sindhu. So Shodh Ganga is for thesis and dissertations. E-Shodh Sindhu is for articles, research articles. Again, there are 34 research articles who got associated with the InflipNet. Again, you can access this 34 research journals online for free. This is again an initiative by Ministry of Education. I hope each tab is visible to all when I open.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Visible.
The next is E-Yantra. This is for engineering subjects. I'm not touching it upon now. Then there is one more thing called FOSSEE, free open source software for education. This is again an important thing where NEP emphasizes on free and open source softwares even for Divyanjan students. So this again, free and open source software for education. We have a number of softwares where you can use it. Everything is free. So what authentication is, everything is coming through the department or the Ministry of Education. So you can just see how many softwares are available. You can make use of it. There even for Scilab, it is there, for computer science, Python is there, eSIM. So there are a number of the softwares gets added every day. So you can see free softwares which can be easily used. So this is again one of the initiative, because NEP emphasizes on online education. Online education is most emphasized through NEP. Spoken tutorial, again IIT spoken tutorial is available. Virtual labs is available. Many would have heard about online labs, O labs. Yes, O labs is something designed by Amrita University in collaboration with Ministry of Education. O labs, online labs, where you get the content for all the school subjects. This is the front page, O labs. You can just see the different subjects. You can see subjects. For each subject, again, you can go inside. There will be each topic, there will be an experiment. And this is not only a theory part. I'm just clicking one example, Ohm's law and resistance. See here, you have this theory of the particular Ohm's law and resistance. Procedure, how to do that experiment, you have a theory part, followed by an animation. Even animation is given. The experiment, if you do not have a lab to work with, if you are in a pandemic situation, you have an animation video where you can see how the apparatus works. There is a simulator as well. The previous animation is, it shows a video. Simulator is nothing but where you can work. For example, if I'm using this Ohm's law, I can decide the length of the wire, change the diameter of the wire, resistance of the wire, then I can find the resistance. So this can be done using the simulator. And there is a video again, actual experiment being done by a person, expert. Then there is a viva voce questions as well there. See, for each topic, you have these many materials. Resources, where do we get these resources? Books, all those things will be given here. The links for books, then you can give the feedback as well. Okay, this is for one particular topic. Similarly, you have the same method is being done for all the subjects as well. This is for school subjects. So O labs is for school subjects. Why I am concentrating this? Because we have a number of student teachers in this meet. So they can, when they go for teaching the next, probably in 1 or 2 months, they can use this website. It's just simple, just type O labs. So this is for school education. If you want to go for higher education, there is a link called V labs, virtual labs. Both these are under Ministry of Education, government operated websites, where Amrita will be providing the content funded by Ministry of Education. So this is how it works. National virtual labs I've spoken about. National internship portal. This is again one particular thing where across India, wherever the internship facilities are available, internship slots are available, this link will show you for internships for students and fresh engineers, apprenticeships, everything will be shown in this portal, National Internship Portal. Then this you might have heard in the recent news, National Education Alliance for Technology, that is NEET. Even recently newspaper ads were there for NEET thing, that is students who are free seats can be given for students. That is economically weaker sections students can go with this NEET program. There are allotted seats per year. These many seats are allotted. They can apply and they can go for the higher education. That is National Education Alliance for Technology. The next is University Enterprise Resource Planning. That is ERP, which is called as Samarth, where the entire data of one particular student will be given. This is under process. It is being developed day by day. Vidwan is where you, for faculty registration, this many of us would be knowing it. Indian Research Information Network is similar to that thing. Then Shodh Shuddhi is one more free plagiarism detection software. Earlier we were using Urkund, now this is Shodh Shuddhi, similar to Turnitin, all those things. Government of India has given this Shodh Shuddhi plagiarism detection software. So these are some of the ICT. Then the last one is Academic Bank of Credits, which I've already discussed about. Students can store, transfer, and credit. The credits can be stored, shared, and redeemed. As if you are redeeming your points, something like that. You can redeem your credits as well. So these are few initiatives which are in line with NEP, that is technology enabled learning. Just for this single slide, I'm just giving an external link. Okay, I'm just stop sharing this one. Hope my PowerPoint is visible.
Yes, sir.
PowerPoint, is it visible?
It's visible,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So this is where we stopped use of technology. So I'm not going to tell much about this. One thing is Divyang friendly educational software, that is for special children. There are softwares available using that FOSSEE, F-O-S-S-E-E. NEP is concentrating on free softwares for disabled friendly softwares. That is, the new term is Divyanjan friendly educational software, and e-content in regional languages. Recently, IGNOU has also brought in that content can be prepared in regional languages as well. So we are preparing for Tamil, for B.ED. Tamil material is also being prepared from IGNOU. Virtual labs, which I have discussed, digitally equipping schools, teachers, and students. So technology is a major part where NEP is concentrating more, and this is where the governing things comes in, where regulations comes in. the new, instead of UGCA, CTE, the new regulation commission will be named as Higher Education Commission of India, which concentrates on the gross enrollment ratio, that is HECI, Higher Education Council of India, Commission of India, where it has four sub bodies, that is National Higher Education Regulatory Council, which regulates all the regulatory bodies. Even teacher education comes under National Higher Education Regulatory Council. National Accreditation Council, it is as I said, is a meta accrediting body. That is, an institution can go for a meta accredited status just by displaying its what to say, a disclosure, something like mandated disclosure. You can display. There will be no physical verification of the institutions. Then after a few years, the institution can go for actual assessment criteria like NAC or something like that. Then Higher Education Grants Council. This council is especially for funding, where there will be no AICTE, NCT, all those things will not come into effect hereafter. There will be one single body called Higher Education Grants Council, specifically designed for funding of activities. Then General Education Council, GEC, where this council concentrates on learning outcomes like outcome-based education, academic standard, all those things. Academic part, this General Education Council will handle. So these are all in line. Many would have heard these things, but they're yet to be implemented. Higher Education Commission of India is the head of all these four sub-regulatory bodies. Now, coming to the main thing, teacher education. What impact of NEP will have in teacher education? You will see three different programs: 4-year integrated B.ED program, 2-year integrated B.ED program, and 1-year integrated B.ED program. The center one 2-year B.ED program is what we are following. That is existing program what we have now. But instead, there will be a time where 4-year integrated B.ED will be coming in. Earlier it is there, but now there's rolling out. Now the pilot basis works are going. Already last year there was an announcement for universities and government institutions who can apply for 4-year integrated teacher education program, ITEP. This year also, last week there was an announcement for the forthcoming academic year. You can go for ITEP on pilot basis. That is only for universities and government colleges. So what will happen? In 2030, teacher education will gradually be moved by multidisciplinary colleges and universities. There will be no standalone institutions. So what will happen is, after 12th, we will have an integrated B.ED, 4-year integrated B.ED. So that will be the minimum degree qualification for teaching in schools, 4-year integrated B.ED. So what if I've already done one BSc, that is the older form of BSc of 3 years, no problem. Even the person who have already done 3 years BSc, for example, if I have done BSc Physics, what shall I do for B.ED? I can go with this third option, 1-year B.ED, for those who have completed 4 years multidisciplinary bachelor's degree. That is 4 years, there is an option for 4-year multidisciplinary thing. That is 3 years degree plus 1 year specialized subject. In that case, they can go for 1-year B.ED. So all three programs will be available, but 2-year B.ED program and 1-year B.ED program will be phased out in later stages. So 4-year integrated B.ED will be the minimum qualification for teaching in schools. And what they have said is, the 4-year B.ED program can also be offered using ODL mode of teaching, that is online and distance mode of teaching in remote areas, for students who are in remote areas. Then the same thing, they are giving more emphasis on children with special needs, special interests and talents, education technology, learner center and collaborative learning. So B.ED programs will have rigorous teaching practice as well. Earlier the teaching practice was 80 plus 20 days. This 4-year, if they're going to implement, you'll have teaching practice or internship every year for a specific time. So rigorous techniques will be followed. this I'm just skipping it. So this is how the teacher education will look after a few years. New and comprehensive curriculum framework for teacher education, which has already been in draft mode. This is the plan for teacher education alone. One is new and comprehensive national curriculum framework for teacher education, which has already been in circulation, the draft mode. All teacher education programs to be conducted within composite multidisciplinary institutions. So, as I said, there will be no standalone institutions. It will be along with it is called as a multidisciplinary institutions, where you will have a BSc Physics. Similar to that, you will have a B.ED, Department of Education. So, what they will do is they will study BSc, Physics core paper as well as education related papers. Only educationally sound multidisciplinary integrated teacher education programs to be made available. That is, they're mentioning about the quality of the teacher education programs. And for admission to B.ED, testing will be done by NTA, National Testing Agency. It's not that individual university can put the admission. So there will be a common entrance test for admission to B.ED and merit-based scholarships for 4-year B.ED integrated. Stringent action against substandard standalone teacher education institutions. So when there is a compromise in quality, there will be a stringent action against the institutions. Setting up of national mission for mentoring with large pool of outstanding senior and retired faculty. This is one more significant thing, that is NEP has said that retired and senior faculty will be formed as a pool of resources where they can mentor the upcoming institutions, or they can mentor the institutions for the quality enhancement. So this is again one aspect. The National Higher Education Regulatory Council to function as single point regulator. As I said that no UGC, AICT will be there. There will be one regulatory body for all education sectors, including teacher education. That is National Higher Education Regulatory Council. And the last is teacher eligibility tests for all stages. Now it's not being conducted for all stages, but once this is implemented, tests will be conducted for all stages of levels of stages, primary, middle school, all those things will be done using TET. Teacher recruitment and deployment. I'm just reading the strengthening TETs. This I already mentioned. Teacher eligibility test for all teacher across foundational, preparatory, middle and secondary stage. Tech-based planning for teacher recruitment. So this is one thing that is different. That is tech-based planning for teacher recruitment. Technology-based planning for forecasting teacher requirement to assess expected subject-wise teacher vacancies over the next 2 decades. So how the market scenario will change, what will be the requirements. For example, if there is a need for STEM teachers, science, technology, engineering, mathematics teachers, how will STEM change or progress after 10 years? Now, since STEM has come in, now the new thing is STEAM has come in. STEAM, STEAM, science, technology, engineering, and arts and mathematics. Now, arts has also been come into effect. So, now the pedagogy is called as STEAM. So, similar to that, how technology will predict the market in 2 years, two decades, something like that. Tech-based planning for teacher recruitment, certificate courses. So if I want to study an extra certificate course where I could specialize myself in children with disabilities or pre-service professional development, I can go with certificate courses apart from my professional degree like B.ED, M.ED. I can go with other certificate courses. Transparent transfer system. This is for teacher transfers where transparency should be ensured. Test score and demonstration part of recruitment. This is one interesting thing, that there is a provision for classroom demonstration marks to be considered for your recruitment. So if you have an internship for 4 years, the internship marks will be taken into consideration for your recruitment as well. So as well, your TET and NTA test marks will also be taken into consideration. Earlier it was not like that. So when you perform well in your program, or when you have scored good marks in TET, all those things will be considered for your recruitment as well. restructuring of NCTE to be restructured, that is professional standard setting body under General Education Council. This is what already we have discussed. There is a General Education Council which concentrates purely on academic curriculum planning. All those things can be done using General Education Council, where NCTE will be restructured. So how teachers can be empowered? I'm just touching the highlighted words. Technology based comprehensive teacher requirement, career growth will be good, national professional standards for teachers. This has already been implemented. You can just go to ICSSR website, you log in, there is a link for national professional standard for teachers. You can register yourself. Improving service environment through better infrastructure at school, autonomy, academic leadership positions can be made available for teachers. And there is one provision that there will be promotions within a particular level. Earlier it was not like that. Now for each stage, promotions can be given. Academic leadership positions can also be given. Teacher professional development, continuous professional development will come into effect. That is, there will be mandatory professional development courses or programs where teachers should attend. So all these things will enhance the quality of teaching and learning. Online and digital education, this I think I have covered most of it. Inclusion access, digital education is giving access to all. Blended learning, where you can have different models of learning, where even flipped classrooms, all those things will come into effect. Content creation, where teachers can create content, they can store in digital repository. There are a number of OERs, open educational resources, where teachers can either make use of the facility or they can upload the facilities for general use. Digital platforms, where we have discussed a lot. Pilot studies will be done, and expansion of existing e-learning platforms like Diksha, Swayam, etc. Few more, for example, VLabs is a new thing. This has been expanded. Earlier, Diksha and Swayam are familiar terms. Now, VLabs is a new thing. Then the number of ICT initiatives which you have seen are other initiatives taken by Government of India. So, these things are coming into effect. I hope Diksha is familiar with you all. Then there is significance given to adult and lifelong learning as well. Earlier we called it as this adult literacy program. Now it is called as education for all. Now the scheme has been changed. The term itself is changed. It's called as education for all, which means that above 15 years we call it as this lifelong learning, adult education and lifelong learning, where the 5 concepts are considered. You can see on the right side of the picture. That is foundational literacy and numeracy, critical life skills, vocational skills development, basic education and continuing education. These things are also being concentrated. That is foundation literacy and numeracy. You might have seen this foundation literacy and FLN program for children under standard 3. Similar to it, that is for school education. This is for adults who are above 15 years old, where they should be knowing the financial literacy, they should be knowing how to put signature, they should be knowing the numbers. So basic digital literacy will be coming into effect. Foundation literacy and numeracy. Critical life skills is life skill education should be given to this 15 years and above people. Vocational skill development, for their basic living, they need to know at least 1 or 2 skill developed vocational skills where they can manage their own livelihood. Basic education, again, the basic number systems, all those things should be known. Continuing education, these 5 factors will be given through adult education and lifelong learning. There is one website even, NILP, New India Literacy Program. This is exclusively for adult education, where you can register yourself. There are a number of programs, even institutions can get funds for implementing this. This can be done as an outreach activity as well. So earlier I said that NEP concentrates on outreach activities as well. That is, it connects with the society. So education to be connected with the society as well. So these lifelong learning activities can also be done through, NEP concentrates on this adult and lifelong learning, and integration with HEIs, technology-based options, online books, all those things are familiar. I'll share this PowerPoint. So certain things are self-explanatory. I'm just touching upon a few things. So these 10 points were how higher education focuses on students. Interesting relevant curriculum, that is obvious. It should be having relevant curriculum, latest knowledge requirement. Second point is continuous formative assessment and knowledge improvement. This is what I said earlier. Assessment process is going to change through NEP, where continuous assessment will happen. Third is consistent higher education framework across ODLs, online and traditional in class, autonomy to higher education institutions, which I've already discussed. Number 4 is revision of CBCS choice based credit system, and higher education institutions shall move to criterion based grading system. Fifth is institutions to integrate academic plans to their IDPs, institutional development plans, and commit to holistic development of students. Once the autonomy is granted, in each institution can have its own institution development plans, where they will have this vision and mission. They will concentrate on that particular aspect. They will strive for excellency. So this can be done using individual development plan, institution development plans. Number 6 is support for socially disadvantaged students through support centers. 7 is improve the quality of ODLs, online and distance learning. That is, number of Swayam portals are coming in. I mean, similar to Swayam, we have number of portals coming in. 8th is internalization, infrastructure, research, and student faculty exchange programs. So as I said, there are a number of exchange programs going on. The government has initiated, so many foreign institutions are opening branches here. Again, in turn, we go there outside India. 9th is vibrant campus, teaching, learning, sports, eco clubs, activity clubs, facilities like hostel for rural students. All those things are also being planned. 10 is scholarship to merit students. Now the National Scholarship Portal has come into effect. Earlier it was everything manual. Now NSP has given a very good interface to students to connect with the scholarship portal. So these are all focus points which students gets benefited. This is how NEP focuses on students' benefits in higher education. And these things we have already discussed. Key points of holistic and multidisciplinary education. I'm not going to just holistic in the sense you can have all the skills. So avenues are there for all the skills to be implemented in the higher education. And the significance is also given to vocational education. And these are all the basic things. I'm just going to skip. The main aspects of higher education will be effective learning, holistic development, support for socially disadvantaged, standardized online and distance learning platforms, internationalization, student activity and participation, financial support. This is what we already discussed. You can just go through. And this is where the timeline of NEP 2020, where it started, 21-22. And the exact date is August 26, 2021 was the first implementation in Karnataka, followed by Madhya Pradesh. The same month, August 2021. Then came this National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education, which is again in process. Then 2022-23, Common Guiding Set of National Professional Standards for Teachers, which is again there. Teachers prepare for a transformation in the assessment system. Then in 2025-26, resource optimization is being done for schools. This timeline is both for school as well as higher education. At least 50% of learners will be exposed to vocational education in school as well as higher education system. And this point is what I said. By grade 3, FLN, Foundation Literacy and Numeracy achievement should be made. That is, the target is 2025-26. Up to third standard, functional literacy and numeracy should be achieved. Then 29-30, universal provisioning of quality early childhood development care. Then 29-30 is where our task comes in. Teacher education will gradually be moved into multidisciplinary colleges and universities with minimum degree qualification of 4-year B.ED. Only education is sound, multidisciplinary and integrated teacher education program shall be in force, and all teacher institutions will be converted into multidisciplinary institutes. And in 2040 is what we expect that the entire NEP will be fully operational. So this is what I have planned. And if you have any clarifications, doubts, you can please ask me.